I'm Sho Russell from mining.com.au, and joining me today is Andrew Paterson, the Managing Director for Great Boulder Resources. Andrew, it's great to have you back on. How are you?
Great to see you again. Yeah, very well, thank you.
It's been a couple of weeks since we've spoken, and you have clearly been extremely busy. Let's kick off with the super exciting news that dropped out on the 23rd of May, and that is another new gold discovery at Sidewell South. Mate, you seem to just keep hitting gold out here. Talk me through the highlights.
Yeah, this is really, it's really shaping up as an exciting new area. So to recap, we did the first air core drilling there, probably the first few holes in mid-December last year, and then moving through to January, February, we made a number of air core discoveries in 4 different locations. We've still got other areas to test, but we've now gone back in with RC drilling, and the first 7 holes have come back from the lab and confirmed gold mineralisation on 2 of those discoveries. So that's 2 out of those first 4, and we're waiting for the rest of the holes to come back now. So this is, really looking good.
It certainly is, and I look forward to more updates on these programs. But I wouldn't mind touching on a couple of announcements that have come out in the past 2 weeks. First, there was the Ironbark extension over at your Mulga Bill North project. This information came out on the 6th of May. What do you mean by this extension?
So, yeah, on that, we just had a few holes at the southern end. We'd never properly closed off the mineralisation in that direction. It's been closed off to the north, but not to the south. And so I was kind of sceptical about whether it was worth even drilling these holes, but the geos said, no, we think we'll find something. So we just drilled 4 holes, and one of them hit a particularly high grade intersection at the southern end, which throws the whole thing open. And interestingly, it appears that there may be a bit of a plunge to the south. Now, the next fence of drill holes is air core drilling 170 metres further south beyond that. So we don't know what's going on between this new RC intersection and those air core holes. So that's, potentially a couple of 100 metres there beyond the resource. And if it does plunge to the south, it could go further than that. So it's very unknown at this stage, but it's really interesting. And obviously finding more gold is a good problem to have. And so we'll go back in there and drill some more holes shortly.
And just rounding out what has been a bumper month for Great Boulder Resources, you announced additional metallurgy work completed on the 7th of May, and this shows high recoveries with a low cyanide usage. What does this mean, and how is this good for the Mulga Bill North project?
Yeah, so this is more really good news on the metallurgy. And so there's kind of two reasons that this is significant economically. So, for example, if you're putting this or considering building a plant to process this material, firstly, you don't need to spend too much money on cyanide to get the gold out. So it means that you have a low operating cost for consumables. And secondly, it leaches really fast, so you don't need a lot of tanks. So that actually reduces the capital requirements. You don't need to build, multiple tanks to have long residence time for that material to go through. It leaches out pretty quickly within 10 to 12 hours, plus 90% recovery, up to 98% if you leave it in there for a little bit longer. So it's the sort of material anyone could process this ore in any conventional cyanide plant and get really high recovery. So it's a great result.
It certainly is. And I know you're not one to rest on your laurels. In amongst all of this good news, there's a scoping study underway for Great Boulder Resources. What's that looking like?
Well, frankly, I don't know because the engineers haven't shared much information with me, but I know that they're progressing well with it. And I have asked them to kind of give me the information at the end because once it's all ready, then I'll announce it to the public. So we were hoping to get that done in late May. It's probably going to be early June. It will take us a while. There's a lot of detailed information there. We need, because it's a scoping study, it's very important. We need to be very transparent about all the assumptions that inform that study. But, we think that result is really going to underpin the fact that Great Boulder is vastly undervalued. And if you look at our peers in the region, we're trading at a much lower premium than any of them, despite the fact that we've got probably the best project in our region. And and we're really pushing hard to add value to that as soon as we can.
Listen, Andrew, thank you so much for being here today. Great Boulder Resources just continues to go from strength to strength and accidentally finding more gold. I can't wait to see what comes out next. Thanks for being here.
Me too. Thanks very much.